What differences do you find most noteworthy between biblical and societal perspectives of gender and personality? I would say biblically that gender traits and um, personality are seen more. Well, I guess personality in respect to the certain gender traits. Um, they're seen more in a context of how they serve other people. How do these traits help you lead your family, lead your community? Um, Whereas culturally, excuse me, it's seen more as how do these traits serve myself? How do they serve how I feel, how I advance in my career, how I prop myself up in whatever um, context I want to prop myself up in? Was there anything in the Twenge and Campbell reading that aligned with biblical perspectives? Yeah, I mean, obviously it went into contingencies, but I mean, it still showed how men and women are different, and that's biblical. What did you find in your reading from Weisberg, um, or Moder? I'm not even gonna try. That aligned more closely with biblical perspectives than that found in Twins and Campbell. I think that Weisberg went into a more comprehensive view on just just how different they are, or men and women are, especially just like not by just going to you know just the big five, um, but every aspect of the big five and seeing how men and women align with that. I think that's important. Twenge and Campbell went into contingencies, and I personally think it's important to understand contingencies because depending on what field you're going into, we're gonna encounter people that believe different than us. Uh, and I don't want to be ignorant to different beliefs. I don't want to be ignorant to that because I want to help people. That's my goal. Whether you believe it, whether you believe the things I believe or not, um, I don't want to be ignorant to your experience. So, um, and I think that's biblical. I think you love people, understand people, and that helps you be a witness. So, I think it's important to understand that whether you agree with it or not. Whether you agree with something or not, understanding is important. Um, but as far as biblically, though, biblical truth, I would say that Weisberg it goes less into those contingencies that maybe we don't agree with. Um, how might you use what you've learned regarding gender differences in personality to improve your relationships, ministry, professional pursuits? I think that just understanding breaking. I think I'm talking very loud. Breaking down the genders, especially in the Weisberg article or journal, excuse me. I just think that'll be good with understanding just with how you help people, understanding what people are predisposed to, and honestly, like Twenge and Campbell brought up, it talked about how there's a book called "Men Are from Mars and Women Are from Venus," but then they said, but both are from Earth, and the difference between a man and a woman could be the difference between Arizona and California. Whether that's true or not, and whether their intentions were the same as what I'm getting out of it, I think sometimes we get caught up in like the identity politics of things, where it's like, okay, you as a man, I will never understand, I will never go through certain things a woman goes through. Um, but that doesn't mean I've never experienced things that are consequences of whatever, they go through, or I don't have the same predispositions to traits like they do, and they don't have the same predisposition to traits that a man has. But that doesn't mean we've never felt those traits before, or I've never experienced those traits before. And so the whole, oh, well, you're not a man, so you can't understand what I'm going through. You can't help me. Or you're not a woman, or you're not black, white, gay, whatever. You can't understand you can't understand me. Um, but you know, we've all felt traits that might coincide with those certain categories or identifiers, or you know, what have you. So, and I think it's important to helping people, whether it's in a religious setting, whether it's a professional, secular setting, um, people you don't, you know, other genders, other races, other orientations. Um, it's important to know these certain dispositions in order to help those people. Um, and so, uh, and in order to make your relationships, like your personal relationships, better. Um, so yeah, all that's important, and not getting caught up in, you know, you're not this or that, so you can't understand me. You know, we're here to help, and that's people can be helped whether you're the same as them or not. So yeah, that'll be all. Thank you.